Look at it.
That's good.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just told him don't touch the top. So the top's like got him seriously out of control. But as long as you just keep it like that and you don't ever sort of let the wind come from behind you, you sweat.
Throw it down
So,
again
here,
just
wait,
for a sec.
this-
Throw it down again.
This is someone with sort of barber skills, though, right?
Yes.
Oh, no, hang on.
That is
Now we're not-
epic.
Look at you. Emo, Jimmy.
What's that? High School Musical? Or,
Efron. You got a bit of blonde tips in there too. I like it.
Yeah.
Is it blonde tips
Oh,
or
no.
natural?
Don't be bringing the hair dye out.
Okay. Just let me, because Jimmy will be great for this as well, because Jimmy's a well-rounded man, great talker,
Yes.
and he'll know these headlines off by heart. So I had two headlines I wanted to bring to the show. One was Aaron Gordon decides to release a diss track, Dwayne Wade. Have you guys seen it, heard it?
Yes.
Have you got your heads around it?
Oh, my God, I haven't yet.
No,
He's
I
my
like
guy.
Yeah, Aaron Gordon, your guy, Nate, the Orlando Magic, butthurt from bad scoring. And to be fair, if we're being completely fair, I do think maybe he should have won a dunk competition in the last couple of years.
Yes, he should have. Thank you.
But he's come out with a diss track, and not only is he really having a go at Wade for giving him the wrong ones, but even talks about how this is one of the atrocities that will be taken to heaven and we'll still be arguing about. Like, it's pretty deep, man. Like, he's taking it pretty seriously. Jimmy, you love your basketball. Was he robbed? Does Aaron Gordon have a foot to stand on in terms of dissing such a great person in Dwayne Wade?
I don't know about a foot to stand on. He's certainly got a leg to stand on.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
I think, he was absolutely robbed. Well, it was meant to be, they were meant to score like it was going to be a tie, and then Dwayne Wade just pulled out half a point too many or too few at the last second to try and get his Miami Heat teammate, was it? Or Bulls? Yeah. To get his mate the title. That's shocking. It's match
I want to know how long he sat on that for, because that's happened quite a while ago now. He probably just got on the source one night and was just like, I'll record this.
Fuck it. Push record.
If there's one thing that the Michael Jordan documentary has taught me is that basketballers don't let that stuff go.
No.
They hold on to that stuff for years.
Yeah.
It's so funny you should mention that. It was Isaiah Thomas and the idea of not shaking hands and passing the mantle onto the Chicago Bulls. That argument was full noise, and it still felt full noise when Michael Jordan was reviewing it going.
I want that T-shirt. This is the T-shirt I want. I saw advertised today. The Detroit Pistons straight up bitches. And doesn't Horace Grant just deliver that line so well? It was believable when he said it, right? You're like, yeah, Horace uses that term a lot. They were just straight up bitches. That's like cricket etiquette is you got to shake hands anyway.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think it's any sport etiquette is you go as hard as you can until the final whistle blows, and then you kind of not make up, but you get on with it. And I thought it was kind of weak the way they kind of said that the Celtics did it to them a couple of years earlier, and so they just were then going to do it. That's high school stuff. He hit me first, and it's just junk.
All about that noise, Jimmy. I love that coverage.
Yeah.
No, they didn't do that. No, screw you. I thought it was great. I'm not. Maybe I'm not all for the These are two things I could definitely do without. One is the post-match interviews and presses. I could do completely without them, because the players, especially the losing ones. Okay, let me change that. No losing players should be interviewed after a game. Only on the backs of you guys, and I'll refer to you, and kind of Blake to a certain extent, but he's kind of lost that since drinking the beers. But Nate and I don't understand it. But you guys are built differently in terms of how you're fighting. You're like, when you're on the sports field, mentally you're all in there, you're engaged, you're wanting to beat the shit out of whatever the team is that's opposite you. Then you lose that battle, and you guys are a different animal. Like, for us, we're like, we'll go home. It doesn't matter. But you guys are like so into that when you get a microphone put in front of you and you are having to deal with all these emotions, it never really comes across great, and I don't get anything out of it. If I'm a losing fan, I sit there and go, yeah, we fucking lost. Go talk to the winners. We're cool. And if I'm a winning fan, I'm like, I don't want to hear from these guys. We just beat them. So I don't see the value in the post-match interview with the losing team. Any objections? Convince me I'm wrong.
I reckon you might get some gold out of a couple. It depends who you interview, though, because it depends about the things that happen in the game.
What goal are you going to get from it, though?
So say the losing team in cricket, I'm just saying someone bowls something at his head and they're just going at each other. There's a stink. Who knows? Well, you want to hear from the losing team and go, what was said, what happened, blah, blah, blah. See if something comes out
I'm not convinced.
I think I just want there to be like a moment where everyone can ask their questions and you give all the answers, and then you don't have people asking you 2 days later about what happened and all that kind of junk. There's nothing worse than getting asked the same question for like a week.
So you're
just
fine.
like, oh yeah, no, this happened. Yeah.
Jimmy, you're fine with the post-match if you've lost interview. Someone comes up to you, puts a mic in your face, even though you haven't even had a chance to have a drink or anything like that. They run onto the field. Jimmy, you just fucking lost. How does that feel? You're happy with that?
Yeah, probably not on the field. I actually like how they do it in basketball, how they just like do it in the locker room. Just come in. Like, that's one of the niggly things about cricket is that quite often like the press area will be like on the other side of the field. So you'll finish the game, go into the locker room, take your shoes off or whatever, and you got to walk about 150 meters to get to the interview area to do media and stuff. I'd love it if you were just in there having a beer.
But it's a weird place, though. Jimmy, it's a weird place.
Like, Jimmy.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for.
Go on, Nate. Tell them about it.
Yep. So we've been in a couple of locker rooms to do them, to do the interviews with. Mainly they're naked is one of the things, and you're just interviewing naked people. And there's sort of that carrying on. But now the other weird bit is this, like, so the first time I ever went to one of these was I went to the football stadium that was in San Diego where the Chargers used to play, and they were playing the Vikings, right? So we went there to do a story with David Dixon, the big New Zealand guy that was a lineman for the Vikings. So we went to speak to him, and then the weird bit was when the coach comes out, he stands, and then about a metre, there's like a metre box that's on the ground in yellow electrician's tape. And that's where all the media have to stand behind.
Is this in the locker room?
This was in the locker room. So you get like 30 pairs of hands like this all around the dude. And I was looking at Mike Tice getting interviewed, and I thought, that just must be horrific. But that's kind of how it happens. It's like those weird scrums and like that, Jimmy. That'd be weird, right? You're sitting in the locker room and there's 17 people. One of them is Andrew Alderson, but 17 people, and they're all with the mics at you.
And then Guy Havelt's sort of under.
Havelt's in there. Havelt can scoop it under.
As one thing I do not understand is surely there's got to be a way that you just have like one audio recorder, and there's a way that anyone who was there can download the recording of the interview.
No.
It happens in New Zealand as well, where there's like 20 really microphones. Like, why? Surely, get a Dropbox.
Jimmy, okay, two things.
Efficient and too.
Can I just rewind us back to the locker room where you said naked is fine? So I'm sitting.
Okay, you're going to tell that bit.
Yes.
Okay.
So Ryan Anderson, after they played the Breakers, Phoenix Suns. Ryan Anderson loves Auckland. Ryan Anderson, 3-point king, came from the Rockets. Yep. Ended up there, big contract, lovely dude. I go, shit, that's Ryan Anderson. I didn't really know the rules of how it was done or anything like that. There was a whole lot of press who were standing back.
Shock.
I was a cowboy, ran straight in. I was like, Ryan, and took a knee and started asking him questions. Unbeknownst to me, Josh Jackson had just got out of the showers, and he just took his towel straight off. Like Josh Jackson, towel straight off, and he was standing within a metre, and all of a sudden I just see this. And he was literally swinging it around, and knowing I was trying to interview and keeping a straight face, I was worried I almost get it. It was like ducking and like it was pretty crazy. That's not the but no, I've completely forgotten where I was going. Josh Jackson's
but he got a pair of shoes now,
and that's why they have the yellow tape on the ground.
1 metre apart.
It's a safety thing.
1 metre apart.
I've seen all of Josh Jackson. That's all I can say. He's doing good work. He's doing good work in Memphis now. So I'm glad for
doing good what?
Good work. Oh,
okay, Jimmy, I wanted to ask you about. I saw this on the internet, and I don't know if this is real or not, or if I've read the internet wrong. Is that what they put up your name was when you got drafted? Pa.
Yeah, I think Pa is like a sort of Indian version of Sir. I think it's like a thing of respect. Yeah. So Jimmy Pa is like
so I can
Sir
see
Jimmy,
all rounder on the badge.
He's a bad. Yeah, was that a bad man? No.
Yeah, I think
that's also.
What I reckon it says.
That's not my body either. Like that needs to be. I've been working a lot harder than having to have that.
Hey, what's take us on the cricket field? What's some of the worst sledges you've heard or been involved in? I'm just interested to hear something. Yes, there it is.
There it is.
That one's perfect. The one you're thinking of.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I think the funniest ones are when someone either gets one wrong or they're off the cuff. And I remember we were playing a test in Brisbane in 2015 against Aussie, and we were going to lose. They had us, must have been 4 down on day 5, and I came out to bat, and Mitchell Stark was bowling thunderbolts, and he sort of came up to me and he goes, "Bit early for a night watchman, isn't it?" I turned to and I was saying, "Mate, it's day 5. There's no night. This is it."
Oh,
it was like, it was like, and then he probably got me out. Oh, actually, Mitchell Johnson got me out that event. So,
Oh, that was a good one.
That's one of my favourite things to do is watching Jimmy on Twitter though. Like those someone will throw something and Jimmy just can't help himself. Just like a leg to stand on and a foot to stand on. You can't help yourself. Like you're put into this world to just crush people left, right, and centre. And I reckon Stark thought he had got you. Like, yeah, that's a goodie. I want to say that to him, rubbing the ball on his pants, and comes in and you just hit him with that. He's like, damn it.
Yeah. I think what a lot of people don't realise is that I actually genuinely don't care. It's kind of like, I just, whatever. We're all going to die, and then no one will remember anything. Who cares?
But how did you get to that space though? Because that's quite hard, right? That's if I'm just to get serious a moment, like kids hit that thing, they're great, they're wonderful, and they're so unfiltered, and then they're like, oh, the world pays attention to me and it cares, and they change when they hit that team thing, and you go, no, just live your thoughts, be yourself. But it's hard to get there. Like, how did you get there?
I think you get warned enough times that you shouldn't say something, and enough times nothing bad happens that you sort of go, oh, it's like a boy who cried wolf sparrow in reverse. People go, oh, you can't say that, and I sort of go, oh yeah, you're right, I shouldn't say that, but then nothing happens. So it's kind of like, it's like Ricky Gervais says it like great about Twitter. He says that they don't come to your front yard. So they just say stuff on the internet, and then 3 days later, everyone forgets. It's kind of, so as long as you're not being, obvious, like being racist or sexist or like any of that kind of stuff, I don't think anyone really minds that much, really.
I've done some homework, and I've actually got a couple of tweets I'd like to run by you just to get some extra things. But before I do that, I've had the memory, because Josh Jackson slapped the other one out. The reason why they can't ever use one microphone and one audio gatherer for any presser is because every single ego in media feels like they could ask a way better question.
Yeah, I could have asked that much better.
Yeah, and so as soon as but they just want to get their own voice on it and stuff like that. Like, Willie would do a great job at grabbing audio after the end of every Black Cats game, and he'd be able to send it out. But everyone at the actual media places sit there and go, we're not accepting that. That doesn't come from me. So it just would never work in that sense. So everyone has to get there. Everyone has to get their voice on the question, and everyone's got to reword the question so it sounded like it came from them, and then they're the genius and they get paid their money. That's why you can't.
There's been a few good questions in the daily 1 p.m. briefings from the COVID stuff. I've enjoyed those.
Exactly.
Some of them, mate. Wow. Poor Jacinda. Okay, let me start off on Twitter and run some tweets by you and just see where you were at with this. Now, what is your deal with Sean Plunkett? Where did that start? Because something came in about which politician, this was your tweet, which politician do I need to talk to make cheesecake delivery an essential service? Bloody plenty of likes, 2,222 likes, 154 comments, 103 retweets. That's a great tweet, in my opinion.
That is good. That's great.
Sean Plunkett comes back with, not the first time you've had issues with sweet deliveries, Jimmy. And then it lights up, the amount of comments underneath.
Which is, that's an underrated tweet. That's good. It's because the sweet deliveries refers to cricket deliveries. But I was thinking deliveries like of food. It's actually genius.
That is. That's
Is it a fond relationship that you and Sean Plunkett have? Is it an ongoing thing? What's the story there?
I actually don't. Well, I do know. I don't know why I seem to have got under his skin so much. Especially considering I never even referred to him in the initial tweet that got him all angry in the first place. It's quite an interesting little conundrum. But